What's up, guys? Let's see. Testing. Awesome. So, so many maintainers are getting out and not going into the civilian sector. And there's a lot of miscommunication. It's not that they're lazy. It's not because they don't feel like they're good enough. And I kind of went through this as well when I was separating. Kind of one of those things I knew when I went into the military, like I wanted to be doing this on the outside, right? So something nobody likes to admit or talk about. It's not because we're not capable. It's not because the maintainers are lazy, and it's not as if they don't want it bad enough. It's just that there's not a roadmap on how to do it, and that's a huge struggle with military maintainers. Is where they don't know where to go to get their AMP. They don't know what to put on their resume because the lingo is all different, terms are different, and they don't have much guidance. And I know that the industry is doing a lot more outreach than when I first started doing this, but there's still a lot of work to be done. And if it makes you uncomfortable, good, that's fine. When we're doing something new, learning something new, it's always going to be uncomfortable and it's always going to seem hard in the beginning. It might seem overwhelming, just like when I started this whole process, it was overwhelming. A lot of mistakes I've made along the way. There was things that, just a bunch of mistakes, right? So let's, if you're watching this, live, or you're watching this, on a recorded video now, these things we are so used to going to different locations all the time, new terrain, new territories, new work centers. So the first thing that you do when you go to the next base is there's always a support system. So that's what I want to build, is a support system for you. Okay, and we do it on the school where we provide that support system. Just like you go to a new place, going now that you're going to transition, I'm going to help you out with that, okay? And you're not alone. Most veterans leave the military with leadership skills, discipline skills, great work ethic that a lot of employers are looking for. But there's no clear sequence. And that's why I bring on guys from the industry to kind of point you in a right direction, and even an opportunity to reach out to them. So if there's a certain guy that you saw on one of my videos, I say, hey, get me in touch with this guy. I will do that for you, okay? At least when I was coming through, and as I, talked to current and former veterans and service members, there's not a lot of guys talking, coming back and providing that insights. Hey, you should do X, Y, and Z. Hey, you should do this. You should leave this. It's not like military, and that's what this video is about, right? So when people hear failure to transition, we always know, like, hey, you remember John? Yeah, he's stuck back in doing what he was doing, but in the civilian world. You remember when this guy thought he can go out there and be big and got out of the military early, and we kind of shit on ourselves a little bit, but we leave without the guidance. We leave without, what's going to be valuable on the outside. What piece of paper is going to help you? What credential? What skill is going to help you be above and beyond than the other applicant, right? Especially if you want to be in major airlines, right? They picture something dramatic when we hear they failed to transition, right? It can be unemployment, chaos, everything falling apart. And that's not how it usually looks like. And it looks like we're waiting, second guessing ourselves. I see it a lot where guys wait to the very last second to make any actions. I get it. You're still in mission mode. You're still in the mix of things. Um, but we have to find the time to separate ourselves, maybe kind of not to go crazy on retirement parties. Maybe a little focus on that because you still got a whole nother career to go to. All right, um, so let's dive in real quick and see what the problem is. Here's the truth that most people won't say out loud. They don't fail because of lack of motivation. They the military gave you structure. They gave you clear steps on how to do procedures from the time that you came in all the way to the time how to out process, right? Provides you clear expectations most of the time, right? But when you go and do in a transition, and there's a couple of factors, there's just not a lot of clear guidance on how to do it, right? Some recruiters try to do their best to kind of fill that gap, get you ready. If they like you, they'll put you in place, get you your resumes, get you your all the ducks in a row. And in the civilian world, it's not so much like that. Even though they try to do it better, or they try to do their best, but there's still things that you need to do on your end. And again, it's not all your fault. But here, we're going to be the support system to help you make that transition a little more smoother. Okay. Let's see, working on my notes. All right. So one of the biggest things I feel that the military don't uh, transition is because they expect that the civilian side is going to be just like the military side, doing extra duties, going to unknown areas, some uncertainty there with uh, leading a bunch of new kids and stuff like that. Well, it's nothing like that. If you just want to be a technician, you just do the technician stuff, and that's it. And it's a lot more not relaxed as in standards, but a lot more relaxed on not having you do too many duties at once, not just unless you want to volunteer for those things, but and if you can put it on your plate. But in the civilian side, they don't ask you of those things. And I can understand where there's a broken link between civilian and military, and we're here to fill that gap, just like with a lot of things, filling the gap. Because you guys come freaking prepared. You guys come with the discipline. It's just a whole different mindset, and that's one of I enjoy working with you guys, is because I mean sometimes I'm learning from you guys. I'm learning that like how you guys minds work, and it's just make a streamlined process. And I'm all about being efficient, streamlined process where it pisses people off. Even in some of these contractors, trying to get these done fast, efficiently, and some of these civilian guys don't like it because you're taking their bread away, and I got in trouble because of that. So, you know, that's a story for another day. All right, so stop blaming yourself. Stop thinking that you're behind. Stop thinking that, or it's just we gotta ask those questions, better questions, right? And that's where we're gonna help you. It doesn't progress doesn't come with trying harder. It doesn't come with. It just comes with clear answers, and with that, it's a lot of yes. It's good to have mentors. It's great. It's great to have kind of reach out to people back in the industry, right? And this is why this movement exists, because having that support system is going to you can reach out at any time, and reach out to me at any time. This is not to hype you up. This is not to It's just to give you a better roadmap from the time that you start your AMP, get that certificate. That's your phase one. Phase two is now building you ready for civilian world. How does your LinkedIn, what to, remove from your social medias is always a common thing. People do look at your social media, and maybe removing having a clean social media page is going to be very helpful. Because it is corporations, they got to be mindful of certain things. So, but to give you the roadmap that should have existed in the first place, and I know some of these companies are doing better. They're having veteran transition programs. They're having an office dedicated just for the veterans to help you out during that transition. So there's, clear order, clear steps, and clear expectations. Do people still struggle? Yes. And some of those reasons is because they don't want to leave their area. Sometimes it's because they are very, not very, they only want to do this type of job. Or they like, hey, I want to get into management, and that's all I want to do. I've been an NCO or senior NCO for 10 years. I just want to be right here. I don't want to turn a wrench. And some guys, they want to turn a wrench. So you might find it might take some time, and that's okay. Take the time. If somebody's going to give you an opportunity to lead, go ahead and find it. And sometimes it's not even in aviation. You might go into some sort of manufacturing company, build that leadership skill there, or maintain it, and then switch back over. If you haven't heard of my podcast with Adam Beal, he talks about that, and that they loved somebody grabbed him right away. Then he went back into aviation, being a leader. So it's following the school is going to be that community that I'm trying to build. There was a question that I saw on LinkedIn where how AI is, taking over, but what are we going to do what things are we going to do this year that AI can't do? And one of those is like doing these shows. One of these things is reaching out to you, building a community that I can't do with AI. There's no AI in this community. And now, can it help me write? Yeah, of course, because I want my message to be articulated and communicate with you. So I need some help with that. I need to practice doing these podcasts. So the more I do it, a lot of people say, quality over quantity, but I got to do a lot of these to work and improve my message, improve my communication skills, improve how I say things. So one of the reasons why I wear these headphones is that I'll talk like this, but I need to speak a little more in my mic. I need to do the things that's gonna grab your attention while you're doom scrolling, waiting for your aircraft. I know. I used to be that guy just waiting, flipping through Instagram and checking out cool aircraft and stuff like that. So I gotta do my part to grab your attention, because I just feel like if I can grab your attention for a few minutes, tell you, hey, get your AMP if you're gonna continue, or maybe like I didn't know. I honestly didn't know this. My mind was on Lockheed when I was going to get out, and I didn't know going to the major airlines was going to be an option. I was like, oh man, I didn't know. Like, what if I told you that, years ago when you first started or even in high school? I was like, hey guys, if you get your experience with us, you can go to the major airlines, get paid really well, or I go to certain shops that in your local area to gain the skills, gain the discipline, have all these great attributes to be a top contender for positions at the major airlines or awesome shops. There's one And it's not even on the flight line. They just have an office, a maintenance group where they really deck out a huge airplane for celebrities, for high value people. And I thought that was freaking cool. I didn't know that was a thing, but they provide that service. And they got big names for those guys, really big names. So there's there's the business aviation, which is I think is the coolest part of aviation. I guess I just like that smaller fighter. It's just all decked out aircraft. So that's what I like about it. That's my thing. So, but that's what this community is for, is to let you know. And I was like, hey, I got a job over here. It does X, Y, and Z. Or, some guys, like to work on classic aircraft, classic, you know, uh, you know, small planes. That's the thing. People love it. They love to work on, Cessnas, Beechcraft, just smaller aircraft that they can work around and use more of their skills, like sheet metal, be a little more creative. I know these guys. There's a couple of guys that I know. There's a little group of guys that they don't like to work on big aircraft and doing the same stuff every day. They like to be more creative. They like to shape stuff, drill, and do all these things for their Cessnas and for certain customers. And that's their thing. And they could be old, they can be new. And that's what I liked about being in the military, seeing all these new guys coming in and still uh, in love with 50s Chevys and all classic cars. So I have confidence in this newer generation. Not as much, but it's still out there. So find your mentor. If you need help, come join our community. We can help you out with that transition, what to study for, what to get your paperwork, filled out. Now with AI, use it. Use it to help you answer questions. Use to help you start off a draft with your resume. Write in there the keywords for your resume, right? Because they look at hundreds of applications, if not thousands, depending on what kind of company it is. I know even my little small company, I looked at hundreds. And that's me manually doing it. Can imagine for major airlines where thousands of applications are coming in a day. And so they start putting it through a machine to get the keywords out. Learn how to do that. And I know in TAPS, they kind of teach you that. So use your ChatGPT, use Gemini to help you with finding the keywords, especially AMP, aircraft mechanic, line maintenance. Find out what those things are, and we can help you with that. We have director of maintenance on in our community. He can help you out what he's looking for. Those are the guys you need to reach out to. VP of maintenance or director of maintenance. Those are the guys you want to look for. Set up a LinkedIn and start networking that way. Somebody asked me, I was like, so how do you get a hold of a company? How do you, X, Y, and Z? Why is this? They say they're looking for people, but they're not responding to me. So you gotta be. I had that question. I was like, who do I talk to, right? And I learned that. All right, let me go find out who is really dealing with the pain, right? In these companies, and director of maintenance can help you, guide you along, like can reach out people for you. It's like, hey, I like this guy. Reach out to him. Get what you need. I want him on my team. That happens. So here to help you out. Follow us on school. I'll post it up here. Let's see. Find this cool little trick, guys. I'm sure y'all finding it out right here. Join our school, school.com/military-maintainers. Scan to join it. We can help you with your AMP. That was where I started off, is helping you get authorized, what to study, videos on the concepts, and some templates for resumes that helped others to in major airlines, referrals, jobs, and we keep you accountable. It's like, hey, where are you at? And we can definitely help you out with that. Okay, so Let's see. There we go. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment if you have any questions, DM me, reach out to me on there. That's the first place I'll be looking for questions where I get notifications. And if you think somebody may need this, share it with them. Share it with them that, hey, get your AMP, bud. This is a great place to do it. I'm gonna have lunch with some guys at Lockheed who were veterans, and some of them are service members. Help them out, guide them through. I can do that. I'm out here in Fort Worth at the moment to help out these guys. Sometimes I'll go to another location and help out over there. So reach out to me. I can definitely help you in your unit if possible. If you run an MRO or shop, I can help some of you guys get their AMPs. If there's anything that you liked on here on this show or something you want me to talk about, comment, DM me, and we'll make I'll do some research so I can provide you a great answer. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you tomorrow.